Welcome back, mother lovers, to a brand new episode of Last Call at McLaren's, the How I Met Your Mother podcast. I am Josh, joined ever always by my best bud here, my fellow mother lover, John. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty damn good. I gotta say that theme song always jazzes me up when we watch
Dude,
it.
it is amazing. Like, I hear it, and it just sounds like it fits with... granted, we know it's not the theme song from How I Met Your Mother, but it feels like it could be.
Yeah,
I got a little
absolutely.
Hulk Hogan action going, though, at the same time. I'm like, yeah, man.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Hulk Hogan in an episode of How I Met Your Mother. That, my friend, would be intriguing, to say the least. But
I mean, it almost makes me want to say, like, what you gonna do, brother? But that's for another podcast and another time.
that's true. That's true. So, I feel like it's been a bit since we recorded. Even though all the fans out there watch this week to week, we kind of bundle these in recording. So how you been, man? How you been?
I mean, overall, I'm doing decently well. I can't really complain about too much. You know, we're going into the fall season now. It's the beginning of September. I believe it's still September 4th as we're doing this recording. So, I mean, like, it's not horrible. Enjoying the cooler temperatures.
Yeah, definitely. Me and my kid went to the pool today, so that was nice. So, like, one of the last days we get to go to the pool at my apartment complex for the season. So,
nice.
Had to enjoy that, especially since the last couple of days have been kind of crappy. So,
ladies can catch Josh laying by the pool, looking like the whole fucking snack he is.
No, not really.
Wait, just do it again. For those of you who are not, able to see this, you are missing Josh do like his epic pose down.
Yeah, you know. So before we get into the episode, a little bit of news dropped about the upcoming spin-off show, How I Met Your Father. Wanted to kind of get your quick thoughts on.
I mean, there's a few things that have dropped about it.
That's true. That's true.
I want to talk about before you talk about your news is a series of photos dropped from Hilary Duff. In one of the photos, even though it's in a weird shot, I'm 95% sure they're in McLaren's.
I mean, it's definitely some bar. I didn't look close enough at that one to see whether or not it is, but I think that would be awesome. Because I'm pretty sure it is still set in New York City, and it's current day, so like it could easily be in the same continuity.
Do you think we'll ever see any of the original cast in the show?
Ah, man, I would love that.
Like, they don't even have to be doing anything to be in the story that's going on then. They could just be in the background doing something.
Like maybe Robin Scherbatsky's on the news or something. Or...
I was thinking like hanging out in the bar.
Oh,
like,
yeah, they could definitely be
running plays in the bar still. Or, Marshall and Lily are having a drink.
Barney just like shows up and like hits on Hilary Duff's character, and then he's out.
That would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool, man.
But yeah,
I actually would think that.
News did drop about How I Met Your Father, and it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, so we got the main male lead has been replaced.
Yes.
Originally, it was God Friended Me star Brandon Michael Hall. He had been originally cast in the role, but apparently had to exit due to scheduling conflicts because the filming dates shifted. That happens. You're locked into a certain date, but then, it gets pushed, and you got other things that you got to do, other jobs. So unfortunately, he is out, and Daniel Augustine from a show called David Makes Man, which I've never heard of, has been tapped for the role. So I'm intrigued. I don't really know much about him, but I love that this cast has really come together, and they did officially start filming.
Yes. Now, the first guy who got dropped out due to scheduling conflicts, in relation to Anthony Michael Hall?
I have honestly no idea.
Because I'm pretty sure he was the guy from the Brat Pack.
Oh, Anthony Michael Hall. I think he was also in like Weird Science and stuff. So maybe he's one of those. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Brat Pack it's like Candles, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
And then there's Weird Science, and then there's like St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah, it's all those John Hughes movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I wonder if it's like his dad or like maybe an uncle.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea who the guy is. So, but yeah, I think it's. I'm excited that they started filming, and one of our fans sent us a picture of the clapboard, pointing out that Pamela Fryman is back directing the first episode, which I think is awesome.
As soon as I saw that, like, because I saw the tweet, like, and I was like, oh shit! I'm like, Pamela Fryman.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're never gonna get tired of saying her name.
Absolutely not. I hope not, because we got a lot of time.
We ever tweeted at her to see if we could like get her to come on the show?
I have not, but I definitely will. I don't know why I've never thought about that, but I'm definitely going to do that now.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, you have to understand that like we want to get some of the cast members on the show.
Yeah,
you know, we had Wendy the waitress, or we'll have Wendy the waitress.
I haven't posted it yet, so yes, we.
Okay, so it's there.
I've already interviewed her, but I just have to edit the video and post it.
That's fair. So I mean, we've got Wendy the waitress. We want to get a couple of the normal cast members. I would love to see if we could get a couple of the backstage people.
Mm-hmm. You know, I definitely want to talk to the creators, Carter Bays, Craig Thomas. I'd love to get them on the show.
Dude, my goal is I would love to sit down with NPH.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Dude, that would be amazing.
I have so many questions I have to ask. And dare I say, I think I could make that interview legendary.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I had a perfect chance to quote another line in the show, and I fucked it up.
Good job.
I should have been like, I have the ability to make that interview, wait for it, amazing.
All right, Blauman. Gary.
No, that's not Blauman.
I thought that was Blauman.
Warmpus. The guy who gets the fucking nosebleeds.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought that was Blauman.
He's the one who gets the bloody nose whenever he gets the erection.
Okay, yeah. Will Forte. That's who that is. Yeah. Okay. Good guy. I like him.
When he finally gets to be Barney's wingman, and he's like, it's gonna be amazing.
Yep, that's right. All right, so I guess we should get into this. It's season 1, episode 14. Zip. Which I'll be honest, I can't figure out what like where the title comes from. I don't know if you.
The only thing I can think of is like how many times like they're stuck in the bathroom.
Maybe, but what's the zip? The only thing, like the one thing I thought of was like, well, Ted's trying to unzip his pants, Barney's trying to unzip his pants, and Lily's trying to unzip her pants because she has to go to the bathroom. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, but she doesn't unzip her. She unties her.
I know, but and that's why it doesn't really work. But
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the time, the titles, you can kind of figure it out.
Most of the time.
But I don't know if I'm missing something. I don't quite. Maybe it'll all come clear as we talk it through. But at the moment, I got nothing for it. I mean,
fans listening, on the outside chance that we miss it and you know it, let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Comment on it's last call at McLaren's, or no, it's
last call HIMYM.
I'll get it sooner or later.
You might get it. You might not get it, but you're gonna keep trying to get it no matter what. And I hope that one day you do get it. So, all right. Actually, before we get in, I put out a tweet on the Twitters.
Yes.
Asking for, fans of the shows, of our show and of the shows, favorite parts of the episodes. And we got from Scott Morse. He's a big fan of what we do here. I appreciate you. At Scotty Wrights on Twitter. So for this episode, for Zip, he's put Barney and Robin steal the show. It makes me believe that they would stay friends after the divorce. Obvious spoilers. But If you guys have been listening to the show, you know we don't shy away from those.
And again, if you don't know that they get together later on down the road because you've never watched the show before, what the fuck are you doing listening to this podcast?
Spoilers!
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
I mean, like, seriously, though, do you think people tune in going, man, I'm going to listen to this podcast about How I Met Your Mother, even though I've never watched a fucking episode before?
I mean, there are people, because, like, some of the, because I listen to a lot of TV-related podcasts, and there are definitely people who listen to these and watch along with them. So, like, they'll watch the episode and then listen to the podcast for that episode if they've never seen it. But we've always said up front, we don't follow spoiler bans here.
I mean, that would be so hard to do because there's so much that, like, happens throughout the show that I feel like sometimes it's like opening a book.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, yes, we're on this page here, but it also mirrors what's going to happen on page 37 or 92 or 87
or 83 for 83 as far as Barney might go. But yeah, so I'm excited to get into this one. Zip 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 aired on February 6th of 2006. Of course, directed by Pamela Fryman and written by Brenda Hisui. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing her name right. And I said that the last time because this is the second episode of hers for this season. She previously wrote the Slutty Pumpkin episode.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the summary for this one reads, Ted and Victoria change their mind about waiting to have sex. Marshall and Lily celebrate their 9-year anniversary at home. Robin and Barney have a bros night out.
Bros night out.
Bros night out. What I found interesting about this particular episode, most How I Met Your Mother episodes, it follows an A and B story. Whereas this one, it's got three threads that run throughout. We've got the Ted and Victoria story. We've got the Lily Marshall story, the Barney Robin story. And I thought that was really cool, the way that they did that, because they usually don't branch that much.
No. And it's really funny because the A and B story at least kind of run with one another. Like normal, you know, like they run together. But then, like, you've got the whole, well, I mean, like, C kind of runs with it too, but it's running on its own parallel, like, line rather than being like, here's A and B, and then, like, here's, like, A and B in this show, and, like, C's right down the middle with it on this one.
Yeah. And we also get the very first mention of the bro code in this episode,
which I thought was actually really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat little ad in there. Just something they kind of slid in there, and you know, it was probably just like a simple thing. I doubt it was like some big thing when they planned it, but it turned into a lot more than just one simple rule.
Well, I mean, cool. If you really think about it, even outside of the context of How I Met Your Mother, guys have had a bro code for like forever. It's existed. It's just never been jotted down or made like big.
Yeah.
This show really put focus on like, well, now you're violating the bro code. Like this is what the bro code states. And Barney, I mean, like he's the perfect guy to have had something like that because he is very structured and well put together. And allowing him, like, his character would be that guy. Mm-hmm. Just like he's the kind of guy who keeps a list of all 200 women he slept with.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it get closer to, like, 250 by the end or something?
Point, yeah.
I think it's, like, closer to 250 by the end, yeah. All right, so we start off the episode, future Ted, of course, and he's talking about relationship firsts. You know, first kiss, first night together, first weekend together, and he reveals that with Victoria, all of those happened within the same 48 hours.
Yep. And
these 48 hours actually take place directly after the events of the wedding, and drumroll, please.
Yes.
It's that weekend, that exact. So it's like these 3 episodes kind of just run together, really. Because of that. It's a whole. It's essentially just a big, long weekend for these 3 episodes.
Like a weekend at Barney's?
A weekend at Barney's, yes. So we are at the apartment. Lily and Marshall are listening in at Ted's bedroom door, wondering if Ted and Victoria are still in there, as it has been 2 whole days and they have not seen them
or heard them.
Yeah, and this was my first thought. Did they never come out to, get something to eat, get something to drink, go to the bathroom at any point while Marshall and Lily were there?
Well, I'm assuming maybe Marshall had to like I'm assuming that like they at least had shit going on, because weddings are typically held on a Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'm assuming like maybe work was in there at some point, or they
I think the wedding was on a Friday, because or maybe even before, because here's the thing, they come out of the door on it's Monday when the episode starts. It's Monday.
Oh yeah.
They spent 2 days in there, which means they went in on Saturday.
Yeah.
The wedding happened. The next day is when Ted finds Victoria.
You're right.
And it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Which means at minimum, that's Friday, because it was already the nighttime.
You're correct.
Which means that the wedding had to have been on a Thursday then, which is real weird to me.
You're right, though.
I mean, I'm sure people do that, but
I'm sure they do. Odd. I mean, when you really sit down and think about it, like a normal fan wouldn't have thought about that in that context. Like, oh yeah, it was a Monday. They left the room. They were in there. They were yeah. But I mean, no, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm assuming if we're going that route, it was the wedding on Thursday. He finds her, he searches and finds Victoria on Friday. They instantly go back to his place and spend 2 whole days together right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
I mean,
and then things go, and then things go from there. So like I said, Ted and Victoria, they come out. Marshall and Lily bolt from the door in a not so subtle manner.
Not subtle.
No, not at all. Ted and Victoria kiss goodbye, and then Marshall and Lily grill Ted about what happened over the last 2 days, wanting to know how many times they banged. Lily, a little bang, bang, bangity bang, said bang, bang, bangity bang, 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 bang. Lily apparently guessed 8 times, but Marshall confident it's double digits. Yeah, confident it's double digits.
I like how Ted's very coy about it at this point, though. Like he's like, nah, we didn't do nothing.
The number was 0.
Yeah, Ted's like, it was a 0. We talked. Well, good.
Yeah.
I mean, don't rush things, because that's how you fuck shit up with fucking Robin Scherbatsky.
Dude, it's so true. So like I said, Ted reveals that they did not have sex at all. Marshall and Lily very shocked at this. Apparently Ted and Victoria have agreed to take things real slow. And Ted seems ready for it, even though, he doesn't really want to go slow, because, he's Ted. And he's also a guy. But then we flash forward 3 weeks, and we are at the bar, and Ted says that his testicles feel like Pop Rocks and soda.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, it's been 3 weeks, dude. Do you not masturbate? Like, come on, man.
See,
like,
in my head, he says this, and I'm like, maybe you should go see a doctor.
Yeah, that too. Like, it's like if I have gone, I mean, I don't think I've ever gone 3 weeks without something. I've definitely gone that long without actually having sex. But if you go 3 weeks and your testicles feel that way, you probably should go to the doctors, man. Because I don't think that's normal.
I mean, it's definitely not normal. I mean, I'm not saying I know what normal is at this point, but I'm saying that my testicles have never felt like Pop Rocks and soda, and I'm assuming that doesn't feel very pleasant down there.
Oh, I'm sure. And 14 episodes in, finally got to some testicle talk. What up, folks? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. That's right. We learned that Victoria wants to wait a whole month before having sex. Now, I don't know if there's a specific reason behind that amount they don't really get into that. It's a month. That's what she chose. And I'm sitting there like, big fucking deal, Ted. I've gone way longer than that. I don't feel bad for this guy. I don't feel bad for this guy one little bit. It's like, suck it up, man. Like, seriously. Deal.
No, dude. When he's complaining about it too, because like he's being a whiny bitch about it. He's like, "Oh, she wants to wait a month," and I'm like, "You like this girl? Why are you complaining?"
Yeah.
Like, first up, Victoria is fucking hot,
dude.
Like, even if you aren't like having sex, you know you're going to have sex. Think about the drum roll that you had with the amazing kiss. Think of what the sex is going to be like.
Yeah. His drum roll's gonna end in a whimper. What?
The drum roll's gonna be like, and the ending is
gonna be and
yep.
That's it. and that's it. Thank you, Ted. So Barney, he gets a little creepy here. He says the only reason to wait a month for sex is if the girl is 17 years, 11 months old. And everybody at the table just rolls his eyes along with me.
I mean, it's a very
Barney thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a very Barney thing to say, and it's definitely a rough thing to hear.
Oh yeah, I'm like, really, dude? Come on. Again, exactly what I would expect from him, but doesn't make it any easier, I suppose.
True statement.
Yeah. So then Robin comes in. She's looking for people to kind of hang out with the following night. And this is when we learn that it is Marshall and Lily's 9-year anniversary. And they are planning to go to the Berkshires to celebrate. What I thought was kind of interesting, this is supposed to be like typically the air dates are right around when the show is taking place inside of the actual show.
Yeah.
So this is, early 2006, yet Marshall and Lily as far as I could remember, got together at the beginning of school, which would have been in the fall. Now, maybe they didn't make it official. You know what I mean? Maybe they just kind of dated or something, but they didn't actually. I don't know. I don't remember if they ever actually go into detail on that. But as far as I was, like, my impression was, they started being a couple, but maybe they just weren't official until January, February of the following year. I don't know. But I thought that was interesting, an interesting side note. But yeah, 9 years. 9 years they've been together. It's a long time. And there's 9 years and they're not married.
No. And that was kind of...
That's rare. That's real rare. You don't see that very often.
Nope.
Being together that long and not having some sort of issues because, he hasn't proposed or this, that, or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that they've been able to be together this whole time and not have those issues. I thought that was interesting because they never touch on anything like that. So it's obviously was never a big deal. It's just they were together and they were fine with that.
They were.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you said, it is really nice because relationships typically don't last like that anyway. So
yeah. So then we flash to the next day and Marshall and Lily, they're supposed to be heading out on their little vacation, but they convinced themselves that they'd rather stay home. Which, John, have you ever done that? Have you ever planned like a vacation or something like that and just decided, you know what? I'm staying home.
Nope. I can't say I have, but I've never really taken a vacation like that either.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, if I'm going to go anywhere, like I make a plan to try to come see you or, the furthest I've ever went was like Rochester, Watertown. Like, so I can't really say that I have. Have you?
Not that I can remember. I mean, there have been times where I've made, plans for something like that and couldn't go. There was a Schmodown show last year in January that I was planning. I had tickets and everything to go to. And its dad wound up real sick. It was, a few weeks before he passed away, and they weren't sure if he was going to make it that weekend. And so I canceled my plans and went down there. But I don't think I've ever just been like, I got, I booked this hotel or whatever. I'm just going to stay home.
Right. And like, I thought about that and I'm like, man, like they've got all these plans that they obviously paid for.
Yeah.
No, I'm going.
And they, as we see in upcoming episodes, don't have a lot of money. Like they are not liquid at all.
They talk about it in like literally like 2 episodes from now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you clearly don't have this money to just be wasting. Because like I thought about it in that episode too. Like when we get to like Cupcake, I was like, you don't have money, but you just blew off a like fucking resort that you paid for.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of assholes are you? Like,
yeah. No, I mean, maybe they had some sort of trip insurance. I don't know. I don't know what they had back in 2006.
I mean, maybe it was one of those like book now, pay laters.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked, but part of me does not believe that they didn't lose at least some money.
I mean,
on canceling this trip.
Something.
Yeah. And if they had just gone, shit wouldn't have happened the way it was.
When we start getting a little bit more ahead, like I'll talk about it, but like I have a couple of issues with like how things go down.
Yeah. So then we go to the bar. Barney approaches a woman and begins blindly hitting on her, and it turns out it's Robin, who apparently he has hit on accidentally 3 different times now.
Yep.
Which I thought is hilarious. Barney asks Robin to be his bro for some broing out that he has planned, since Ted is no longer available. And after some hesitation, Robin agrees. What I thought was interesting about this scene, Robin is there with a friend.
Yep.
And it's the same friend, same actress and everything from the pilot, who, again, says the same line that she says in that episode, what's taking so long? After being dumped again. That's the reason that she's there, which I thought was hilarious. It was a funny little like callback to that pilot.
I thought she looked familiar, but I didn't catch that it was the same friend.
Yeah, I thought it was a great callback to that.
What I thought was funny about this moment is that Barney's hitting on her, and she's like, "Why don't you just use the mirror?" Barney's like, what are you talking about? You can't use the. And he's like, "Oh my god, that works!"
It just opened up his entire world.
It's like, have you never seen the mirror on the back of the bar, Barney? Because like,
dude, he ain't paying attention to the actual bar.
He's not. He's
not at all. Right. He's not at all. But something I thought was that I wanted to definitely mention about Robin's friend, her, who's always getting dumped, right?
Hold on.
This is the last time we see her. We never see her again, John.
And why is that? Because I was like, man, Robin had a lot of friends at the beginning of this show that we never see again.
Never see. I mean, this girl keeps getting dumped that often. Why do you think we never see her again?
Well, we never see her again because she probably fucking killed herself.
That's right, folks. If you're brand new to this podcast, and you are suddenly offended by that, I would suggest going and watching some Zach Morris is Trash. It'll explain it all to you.
It will explain so much.
It will. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It is. It's pretty funny.
Zach Morris is indeed trash.
I mean, was there ever a doubt?
No. So then we flash to Ted and Victoria in a cab talking about how they only have 1 week left. And then when Victoria realizes what day that is, she says, "Oh, no, I'm going to be out of town that day. It's the 18th. And then they just decide, you know what? Let's do it tonight.
Well, see, and I love, though, that Ted tries to play it off all, like, calm, like, oh, yeah, you'll be out of town. Now, we can wait.
Yeah, man.
Cool. And, like, he tried to be,
He did exactly what he should have done. Because if he had been like, well, then fuck it, let's do it tonight, she might have been like, no, let's wait.
Yeah.
But because he opted to wait, she was more willing, it seemed, to be the one to say,
anyway.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like if he had been, like, aggressive about it, like some guys would be, it may have backed her off of that. But I think her seeing him, being a gentleman in that way and being like, okay, let's just wait another week. It's fine. I think it made her feel like, you know what? Let's just do this thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go for it.
Definitely. We learn here that Ted's apartment, and therefore McLaren's, is apparently located at 75th in Amsterdam. Yeah.
Fair.
But the actual bar that it's based on is located on 55th in New York City. Oh. I found out. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I thought that was cool. Yeah. So then we get back to the apartment. Marshall and Lily are in the bathroom in their PJs, brushing their teeth, and reveling in the fact they chose to stay home. You know, they're going to have a nice, chill anniversary. And then suddenly, Ted and Victoria just come busting through the door.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, shit.
So, to see, here's where my first issue comes in with this.
Okay.
One, this is partially Marshall and Lily's fault. Yes, Ted and Victoria busting the door right then. Marshall and Lily could have easily have texted earlier being like, change of plans, didn't go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. Now Ted knows that the house isn't,
like Victoria, we got to go to your place.
Or they could have just went straight into Ted's room.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they could have just, instead of being on the couch.
Or like, hey, Marshall and Lily, can we have your reservation to the Berkshires?
2. Yes. Exactly where I was going to go with this. Number 2. Hey, can we use your little setup thing? Can we go in your place since you guys don't want to go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds cool. Number 3. Marshall and Lily should have came out of the bathroom right then and just been like, oh, hey guys, we're not going to interrupt in your time tonight. Let us sneak into the bedroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of those options would have been better than what they chose to do.
Now, here's the other problem I have with this entire rest of this, and I'm going to address it here instead of waiting till the end of this.
Okay.
Do Ted and Victoria never use the bathroom?
I literally have that in my notes at the end, so I'm like, we can definitely talk about that now. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, they're in there for a while, and never once was that even a thought to Marshall and Lily. Like, well, what if they come in here? You know what I mean?
And
like,
because I thought the same thing. Like, after I'm rewatching it back, I'm like, wow, they were in there for quite a while. That like all this shit happened, and then like they don't realize that Ted and Victoria finally do go in the bedroom, and I'm like, but did Ted and Victoria just never have to like use like because they were coming from somewhere? They were in a cab.
Yeah,
so,
they're coming from somewhere.
They came from somewhere, and then they clearly spent a lot of time out there in the living room, and not once was he like, man, I really got to piss.
Or even her, or like she maybe she was like, I need to freshen up, or any number of things,
right?
Could lead you to the bathroom, and it never happens. Yeah,
not once.
Yeah, I definitely thought about that. So I'm glad you caught that and brought that up as well. So Marshall quietly closes the door, and then they decide to wait in there, and like you said, they really should have just come right out.
Yeah.
Because then like you said, they could have just gone right to their room and not been stuck in the bedroom.
At all.
And Ted and Victoria, like they could have still done stuff in the living room. It wouldn't have mattered really. But they would have at least known that they were there, probably moved into the bedroom, whatever. And then all of that would have been just saved. They would not have had to sit in the bathroom that whole time, and everything else that goes down would not have happened. So yeah, they decided to go the hard way with this one.
So hard.
Yeah. So then we flash.
Holding out for a month.
Yeah, a whole month. So then we flash to a cigar club where Barney is hanging out, and Robin walks in, and she has suited up, sir.
Suit up.
She has suited up, and Barney is shocked and a little impressed.
I'm also shocked. As to this is the first time you ever see the main cast smoking.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I hadn't thought about that.
They addressed this later on in like a later on episode about like the last cigarette. But this is literally like cigars are a totally different ballpark than having a cigarette.
That's
I can
true.
tell you that because I used to smoke cigarettes and cigars. And like they're not just smoking like cheap ass cigars, they're smoking like high end shit. They're drinking high-end fucking whiskey, man. Like,
yeah, they're drinking Johnny Walker Blue, neat, and a Monte Cristo number 2, apparently nicknamed the Torpedo, which I looked this thing up. That is, in fact, what it is called. It is known as a torpedo. This thing is like almost a foot and a half long. It's huge, man. It's like 14 inches long or some shit like that. It's
Merc,
wild.
Start calling you Torpedo.
Boom. I did a little because I'm like, I don't know anything about cigars, so I did a little research on it, and it's apparently one of the best selling Cuban cigars out there. It has a score of 96, which is the highest rating that they've ever bestowed a cigar in a blind taste test, which I thought was interesting from Cigar Aficionado. And these things cost like $12 a piece.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit
for a single cigar. So I thought that was interesting. And yes, like I said, they are definitely called a torpedo. Apparently, it's got some touches of wood, spice, sweet cream, anise, and wet hay aromas.
Kind of
only intensify once the cigar is underway. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Again, I'm not a cigar guy, but I just found that interesting.
I'll light it in front of you so you can at least enjoy the aroma.
Yeah, and the other thing I found interesting, we don't have what is it? Glenn McKenna is the what they use throughout the show, right?
Yeah,
I don't think we've heard that yet.
No, I don't think we have either, because usually they're drinking like...
Because this would have been a perfect time for her to order Glenn McKenna. True. You know, like Glenn McKenna 20 year or something, you know? But, you know, they go with Johnny Walker, an actual real brand, which I thought was, hey, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Then we learn that Robin's father is a cigar guy. I think it's the first real thing about her dad that we learn.
Yeah.
She really hasn't talked much about her parents, her family, her past, any of that stuff in the 14 episodes that we have seen so far. We obviously learn more about him and meet him later on, but yeah, we don't really know much. It's just building. Layers are building. We're starting to build here. Then Robin and Barney make fun of Ted a little bit, and they do a little freeze frame high five, which I thought was fun. And then we flash back to the apartment, Ted and Victoria. They're being, I wrote down, sickeningly romantic. And even Marshall and Lily agree with this, which I thought was fun.
Some of the shit that they are, like Ted is saying is definitely...
Some of it having watched the whole show, it reminds me of stuff he would do with Karen later on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just like real, almost like kind of pompous, kind of like, I don't know. It's just, that's what it came off as. Like all that kind of shit that he does with Karen is what kind of came out here to me. Like having already known it. Yeah. Hey, yeah. And he wasn't being like facetious about it. He was, that's his play right there. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that he's used to because of all that time with Karen. Well, whether they wanted it to be that way before. Because
it's so horrible to listen to.
It is, man.
Like there's a point where I believe it's Marshall's like it says something about like it sounds kind of high schoolish. And it really does.
It does, man. Absolutely it does. Yeah, I don't know why he thinks that's a good idea. But hey, whatever. They discuss whether to come out of the bathroom a little bit and begin spying. Like they open up the door a little bit and then they start actively spying on Ted and Victoria, which is something that they continue to do a bit throughout the episode. Then we get back to the cigar bar. We learn that Ted has never been to the cigar bar. Barney has never brought him here. And so Robin already has a one-up on Ted. Now, in the next episode, Ted references the cigar bar, which, we'll get there when we get there. But when they're like, we got to find Barney in the next episode, he's like, well, maybe we should check the cigar bar. And which I thought was interesting because that means he knows about the cigar bar. It's not like it's a hidden thing.
I wouldn't think Ted would go there, though. It's not really his style.
I don't know, man. I mean, he seems like the kind of guy who likes to pretend to be fancy.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially what we learned from all this stuff with, oh, God, I would try to pull her name out right now, and I would forget, wouldn't I? The girl that lived in the apartment before them. They go to the Van Snoot.
Oh, when they go to the Van Snoot part. Yeah. I don't remember her name. When we get there, I'm sure it'll pop. But yeah, I don't.
But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like they try to be so fancy, like at that party, but Ted's the only one who really fits in there.
It's true. Yeah. So like, it would shock me that he wouldn't want. I think he would want to go there. I just don't think Barney wants to bring him. To be totally honest with you, I think Barney hasn't agreed that Ted deserves it yet. Yeah, I think that's more what it is. And then Barney says that there's something else that he and Robin could do if she's up for it. Kind of making it seem like a little like he's gonna say sex.
Innuendo.
Yeah, innuendo. That's right. And it winds up being laser tag. Is this the first time we've seen the laser tag? I'm trying to think.
I believe so.
I don't think we've seen him play laser tag in the past 13 episodes.
I'm pretty sure we've heard him reference it, but I think this is the first time we've seen him play it.
Yeah, which I thought was cool. And they're having a blast, man. But I don't know if you noticed this. They changed clothes.
Yes.
Like he's got a completely different shirt on, and so does she. And I don't understand where they got these clothes from.
Who knows?
Like, did they go back to their apartments and change? But then they change back into the nice clothes after. So I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe Barney just has like a bag of spare clothes for when he wants to go laser tagging, and he just tossed her a shirt.
He doesn't have a locker there with like.
If they have lockers, he 100% has a locker. Absolutely. Yeah, dude, absolutely. He probably has like a row of lockers where he's got different, clothes hanging up in there and stuff.
Probably. I could see that actually.
Oh, yeah. So I wouldn't be shocked. And he probably, if that is the case, he's probably got some women's clothing there too. So if anything like this happens and he's able to bring a lady with him, then boom,
we're gonna
he's
have
got
to
a
ask
chain.
Pamela Fryman.
I know, right? Yo, NPH, what's your thought on this? So then we go back to the bathroom. Marshall and Lily are confronting the possible relationship issues that they have because, Lily's worried about them not having any more firsts left in their relationship. And then things start heating up between Ted and Victoria. And then Ted's phone rings. And Victoria tells him that he can answer it. And Marshall and Lily are like, don't answer it, man. Don't answer it. But he does. And totally just kills the heat that they built. Marshall and Lily not happy about that because that just means they got to stay in there a little longer.
But I mean, in seriousness, though, you're in that moment where you're building up that intensity with a woman. You don't take that fucking phone call.
Nah, fuck that, man.
Unless you look at because he knew who was calling because there's caller ID at least on his phone.
Yeah.
I mean, at least like it wouldn't have been like today's, but it would have said like Barney at least.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, it's fucking Barney. He can wait.
And that's it. You're gonna tell me you thought that was gonna be an important phone call?
Yeah, it's like, is it almost ever like with him? Come on, Ted.
Like if you're in the moment where you're about to get your dick wet, you do not answer that phone call unless it is 911, the police, or maybe your parents.
Yeah, I agree.
And on the worst case scenario, a second or third phone call from Marshall.
You mean from Barney?
No, from Marshall, because then you know it's something serious. Because they don't know Marshall are in the bathroom at this point. If Marshall calls you 2 or 3 times and they're away, you know it's probably something serious.
Yeah.
Answer the phone call then.
Yeah. But that
Barney, though, I probably would have answered the phone call for it all.
Barney on the first try? No, not at all, man. She's like, yeah, he can wait. Victoria, click, boom, back into it.
Boom, back into it.
The heat is still on, yo.
Boom goes the dynamite.
It totally does. But Ted being Ted, he answers that call, and all we hear from him is he says, "Yeah, good luck with that." And that's for now. That's all we know.
Yep.
So then we do find out a little later what it is. I can go into it. It's not a big deal. We'd like to jump around here sometimes anyway.
Jump around anyway.
Yeah, so we do find out later that the phone call was actually from Barney, asking Ted if he can make a move on Robin. And Ted's just like, yeah, good luck with that, He has moved on at this stage.
And he has, at this point, moved on.
Yeah.
It's Robin who's still hung up and being shitty.
Oh, dude, in the next few episodes, man, she gets real shitty.
Dude, she gets like catty-ass bitch.
Dude, she
becomes petty. Yeah.
She gets real bad in the next couple episodes. And it's like, she's kind of bad in game night, but then it gets way worse in Cupcake. Yeah, it's this is the great thing about watching multiple episodes and then doing these, is we kind of see that progression of a few episodes as how things are turning around. So Ted goes and gets some more wine, and then Marshall and Lily, they just sulk back into the bathroom because, well, they're going to be there for a while now.
They're going to be there for a while.
So then back at the laser tag place, Barney and Robin are surrounded, and they decide they're going to go for it because you know what? You don't leave anyone behind. No man left behind. And they get eliminated quick. Real quick. Yeah. And then they just head out, go grab some soft pretzels. Which I think, hey, that's a good idea. I like soft pretzels. I would do that. Then we cut back to the bathroom. There's a lot of like quick scenes here. It's like, within like maybe like a minute, if that. Each of these scenes is boom, 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 going back and forth. Like I said, we're back in the bathroom. Marshall and Lily are worried that they've lost their spark and have become boring. Lily reveals that she needs to get out of there because she needs to pee. And apparently they've never peed in front of each other, even though they have been together for 9 years.
Which I don't know. That one weird.
Yeah, I don't know how they've gotten away with never peeing in front of one another for not one time in 9 years. And like they've been living together essentially for like probably about a year by this point. Because like she had been there for like 3 months prior, we learn. And so it's probably close to a year by now. It's like not one time. I don't know. It shocks me. It just shocks me.
Who knows?
And this was where I brought up a question. What would they have done if Ted or Victoria had to use the bathroom? You know what I mean?
And I like
they never mention it. They never like bring up, oh, we're in the bathroom. Oh shit! But Ted and Victoria could come in here. What the fuck? What if they did?
And that's it, man. Like, what would they have done?
Like they're like, oh shit, they're coming. Get in the shower real quick. That's the only thing I could think that they might do.
And I thought the same thing. Or maybe they would have tried to jump out the bathroom window like we have seen in previous episodes.
Yeah. And just land all like superhero style. Boom.
Poser.
No, was it like 3 stories up or some shit? Yeah.
All I'm going to say about it is, though, had they walked in, it would have just been as simple to have been like, oh, hey, guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know you were here. That would have been a hilarious conversation. Oh, hey, Ted. Didn't know you guys were here.
He'd have been like, what are you guys doing in here? We always hang out in the bathroom on Saturday nights.
Yeah. This is our ritual, Ted. Jeez. You'd think you would, you should know a guy after knowing him for so long.
Marshall would totally try to sell like that, too.
Oh, he 100%.
Totally.
Like, Ted, you've known me for over a decade. Come on. Or it's 9 years because they met the same time. Yeah. So you've known me for 9 years. Come on. I like to hang out in the bathroom, on Saturday nights.
Huh.
Like, what are you talking about? Now I want that scene. I think that would have been hilarious. I would love that. But so then we go back to the bar. Robin and Barney are talking about Battleship. Yeah. Yep. Apparently, neither of them have ever lost because they like to cheat. Robin apparently bends the Battleship. Have you ever played Battleship, John?
Not cheating like that.
No, but you've played the game, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck is she bending the Battleship?
I mean, I'm not assuming it's easy.
It's like, I'm pretty sure that thing would just snap in half if you did that.
Maybe she's got a lighter and she like heats it up a little bit.
See, that would be some smart shit right there.
Well, I like Barney's strategy so much better though. He stacks all the boats on top of one another.
Yes. It's funny because, toward the end of the episode, they actually do play a game of Battleship. You
can actually see his boats.
And he stacks the boats, which I thought was a cool little catch there that they put in there. I thought that was great. So then Robin decides that she's going to play wingman for Barney and get him a girl. Something that Ted is supposed to do, but he doesn't do a great job of that. But Barney suggests that he should do the same, and he points out this woman in a blue shirt, which I thought was hilarious because he knew that it was, and he was just fucking with her. Which I thought was great. So then Robin approaches this girl for Barney, and essentially tricks her into a competition for him.
It works though.
It does, man.
It seriously works.
She plays on that that jealousy or like that need to one up the other girl, which I thought was. I mean, I do girls do this? I don't know, but I wouldn't be shocked. I really would not. And then so we go back to the bathroom for a quick scene. Lily is trying desperately not to pee. Wanting to keep the mystery alive. It's like I said, it's real quick. It's probably only like 15 seconds that they cut back to here. And then we go right back to the bar. Barney decides we don't even spend any time with this girl that he meets. And as soon as they get back to the bar, Barney decides to ditch this girl and instead just hang out with Robin, leaving no bro behind. And then Robin gestures to the girl in victory, yeah, what's up? Which I thought was hilarious.
During their conversation, Robin literally says to her, "I'm going home with them."
Yeah,
and she's like, I'm gonna move in on him," and blah 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 blah. And then of course, Robin walks out with him,
which I think is hilarious because obviously it was Robin's plan to make her think that.
Yeah,
but I think deep down, just Robin's a competitive person, and so I think that's why I think she did win, and she had to make it known. You know what I mean?
No, you're 100% correct on that.
Yeah, I think she just had to make it known. And they go to play some Battleship, apparently. At least that's what we think is going to happen.
Battleship.
Yeah. So at the apartment, Ted and Victoria are hot and heavy, and they decide to get things moving right there on the couch.
There's no time to move to the bedroom.
No time. Meanwhile, Marshall and Lily, still stuck in the bathroom, they come to terms with the fact that Lily is just going to have to pee in front of Marshall. It's a thing that's going to have to happen, and they are ready to do it. So then we head over to Robin's apartment. It's one of the few times we've seen it. I think this is the third time that we've seen her apartment this season. She's glad that, she had a good evening with Barney. She's happy about that. She did not think that that's how it was going to go.
Nope.
And then she says that she'll be right back. She's going to get the Battleship. They're going to play some hardcore Battleship, she says. And after she leaves the room, Barney apparently took that to mean that they're going to have sex.
Yeah, I don't get where he misconstrues this one.
It's hardcore Battleship. You got to put pegs in holes and shit. Mm-hmm.
Sure, he gets pegged in the hole.
And he begins taking off his clothes, very reminiscent to something we see later on in the show.
The naked man.
The naked man. It's real close to that. He's just about there, which shows you that Barney already had that mentality, even before he met that guy.
Oh yeah.
And what I think is even funnier is that it didn't work on him with him, but it works with the naked guy.
Yep. Hey, works 2 out of 3 times, bro.
2 out of 3 times. Maybe if he had tried it a couple more times, it would work. Who knows? And so when she returns, she is shocked to see him half naked. And they kind of argue about what's going on. You know, she's like, "What are you doing? You know, we're here to play Battleship." And he starts putting his clothes back on. Because that ain't gonna happen. And
he's really pompous though for thinking though that was what was gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, well, I mean, I don't even remember what he says, but yeah, just that attitude of this is what should be happening. Like, what are you doing? You know, like we should be doing this. But yeah, that's definite. That's definite Barney there. Back in the bathroom though, Lily done peeing, and Marshall sitting in the shower. He opens up the curtain, which I thought was funny. And they're a little sad that they had to cross that bridge. And then Lily accidentally flushes the toilet.
Yep.
And it's like, oh shit, their cover is blown. So they assume Ted and Victoria must have heard that, and they decide to leave the bathroom. And they don't see anyone there. And what they say is that they left. Now, I mean, there's no way that that's what actually happened.
No.
Because at the end of the episode, Ted comes out of the bedroom in his robe.
Yep.
Marshall, it's still that same night. Marshall and Lily never left.
No.
Which means that Victoria must be in there too. I mean, I guess not. Maybe not. I mean, technically, she could have left, and
maybe
Ted could have gone to his room. But most likely, Victoria's in there, and they, got busy. But did they not hear the toilet flush from the room?
And that's not really ever explained. But
yeah,
no, you don't know.
That's why it was like the toilet gets flushed. They come out. They're like, oh, they must have left. And so, like, you think, oh, okay, so they literally left because they would have heard that flush and been like, wait, what? And then one of them, you would think Ted would then come out to see, like, who the fuck just flushed the toilet? Like, we just got in here. Nobody was in here, like, 5 minutes ago.
Right.
But that doesn't happen. So that's why, like, it seems a little off when he winds up coming out at the end, because it's like, where was he literally just in? I don't know. That was something that, like, both times I watched it today, I was like, okay, that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but maybe I'm just overthinking it. I don't know.
I mean, I agree with you.
And when they notice that no one's there, Marshall's like, whoop, I gotta go to the bathroom now. See ya.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Which means that they flushed the toilet a second time.
True.
They still don't hear it. And they must hear, like, Lily and Marshall talking once they're out of the bathroom.
They have to.
And it's like, wouldn't he be like, hey, what are you guys doing here? Never question. I don't know that
I would question it. I mean, they have their ways of doing things. So, I
guess. But, like, as far as he knew, they were gone.
And that's
the Berkshires. True. So why are they there and already in their pajamas when Ted literally just went into the bedroom a few minutes ago?
That is true.
Like, I feel like there was room for, like, a funny confrontation there, but it obviously it wouldn't have fit within the story they were telling.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So then we go back to Robin's, and Barney explains, why they'd be good together in like a casual way.
Yeah.
And it seems to make sense to Robin. And this is where the beginning of that Robin-Barney relationship starts.
Oh, yeah.
This is the seed that is planted that leads to them eventually, getting married and everything. Spoiler alert, folks.
Well, I mean, they date on and off before
they do. Though. They do. But like I'm saying, it eventually gets to that point. But this is the start. This is where it all kind of begins. Because she sees that, she sees in him someone that she can just have fun with,
Yeah. No, and you're absolutely right. And he really does a really good job at explaining how like they both hate people and but they're good together, and all the little things he says really does make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So they both agree to keep it quiet, and then they start playing Battleship, just like they were supposed to.
Yep.
Then back at the apartment, Marshall and Lily realize that they do still have firsts, like peeing.
Pooping.
Yeah, and the deuce, as Marshall calls it. And then they start mocking Ted and Victoria, which I thought was hilarious, doing that same kind of cringy romantic things.
But the exact same lines.
Yeah, but like actually on purpose this time. And then they start making out, and Ted walks out. This is where Ted walks out in the robe and tells them to get a room.
Get a room.
And that's where the episode ends. So, yeah, I mean, I have to assume that Victoria's in there with him. Obviously, we don't actually know, but
I was going to say, theoretically, though, she could have left to have went to work.
That's true, but if they were
something else,
but then did they not actually have sex, or is Ted just super fast?
Both,
because like it wouldn't have taken Lily that long to actually pee.
That's true, but we don't know how long that they weren't paying attention to them being gone either.
That's true. I don't know exactly. Yeah, it's very possible. But you would think that, this is their first night together. They would have they wouldn't have been a quickie one and gone.
You wouldn't think so, but I mean, it is Ted.
Yeah. So like, I'm choosing to believe that she's in that room with him. That's just my
Josh
choice.
Is going for the positivity, people.
I am. So that is the episode 1 or season 1, episode 14. Zip. John, give me your quick thoughts.
Quick thoughts are, I think this is a decent episode. They really deliver on giving us the foundation of Ted and Victoria. You get, like you said, the seeds are planted for the future of Barney and Robin. Yeah. And you really get to see the wholesome love between Marshall and Lily. And I think that overall at this point is still just, it's so solid. Like, you got to love the relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely like this episode. I think that having 3 storylines is a bit much because it forces you to cut back and forth really fast, and because it's only 22 minutes. And so you have to have like these like quick 10, 15 second scenes, boom, 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 to keep things going. I prefer like the normal structure of an A and a B compared to this. But in general, I still enjoyed it quite a bit just because I love the show so much. But so yeah, that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for Barney's blog. That's right, folks. Barney's blog is here. And today we are talking about vocabulary lessons.
Yeah.
That's right. This was posted Tuesday, February 7th of 2006 at 2:35 p.m. And it is essentially a list of like words, a quick selection of phrases or just like words that he's come up with from what Barney refers to as the Encyclopedia Britannica, Barney's Guide to Pronunciation.
Nice.
Yeah. So the entries that they included are broad, which is the bro code, which I don't think he ever uses that term. He always just calls it.
He does not.
Yeah,
he always just calls it the bro code.
Yeah, and it says the bro code. A bro doesn't tell a mutual bro that a third bro has a crush on him. Just like the third bro doesn't tell the mutual bro that the original bro went bare pickle in front of her. See quid pro bro. Which I think is funny. Because that's the original bro code in the show. It's that specific code. I'm curious in the actual book, the bro code, where that one is. Like, is it the first one? Is it somewhere, in the middle of it? I'm real curious about that. That's something I'd like to look up at some point. So then we have bromosexual, a bro who's also a chick and therefore bangable. A broner, which is overexcitement for any broing out activity. Example being Ricky popped a broner when his friend rented out the local laser tag arena for his birthday.
Okay.
John, you popping broners over there?
Nope.
Bronoculars, which is apparently a safety device designed to counteract another bro's beer goggles. Example, if it hadn't been for Sam's binoculars, John would have totally tagged that Ugmo.
Been there.
Yeah, bronoculars. The PL Bro, a group of bros occupying the same brocation as your own bromunity. Okay. Broatia, a utopian brodom, also a strip club.
Okay.
And Brodercycle, a motorcycle accommodating 2 or more gentlemen on the bro. And there's a little like clip art picture of a pink motorcycle with a sidecar.
Ha!
Yeah, which I thought was pretty funny. So that, folks, is this week's Barney's blog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And that also is this week's episode of Last Call at McLaren's.
Hell yeah.
John, tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are trying to find me, you can go on Twitter, go down to right here. You can find me at Simply Saying J1. Corresponds with my personal podcast, Simply Saying with Jay, then Not Your Mama's podcast. You can also find me co-hosting another podcast with the bro with the most over here. It's called Off the Ropes with John and Josh. Where we talk about all wrestling that is wrestling. And then you can find me here at Last Call at McLaren's.
That's true. That's true. And you can find me at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR. Also, right down here at Movie Blog Merc. That is the Twitter page for my site, Merc with a movie blog. If you are into DC Comics, check out DC Comics News. That's at DC Comics News. I run that site over there. And, of course, if you love How I Met Your Mother, just like us, then be sure to check us out on Twitter at Last Call, HIMYM. You can check that right down there at the bottom if you're watching on the YouTubes. And if you are watching on YouTube and you like what you see, make sure to hit that like button, smash that motherfucking subscribe button, and click that little bell.
And
so you always know.
Leave us a comment so that we know that you're actually listening.
Tell
us what you enjoy. Tell us what you don't enjoy.
Speaking of comments, if you're listening on podcasts like Apple Podcasts, you can leave us, if you like what you're listening to, a 5-star review. And if you leave a written review in there, we will read that on air. I believe we actually have one, a new one. So I wanted to get that read real quick. So we have one from Miko Girl titled Legendary. Started listening from the beginning. Love How I Met Your Mother, and this cheers me up on my work commutes. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's right. So, Thank you.
Thank you for listening, Miko Girl.
That's right. So, again, follow us on Last Call, HIMYM. We are here. We're always here. And, John, what do you got for them?
Hey, I'm just saying, you don't have to go home, but you can't listen here.
That's right, folks. I hope that you enjoy your day. Bye.